Hello, good evening, dear friends. I am Miss Gurleen Khokhar, your host for the evening, and it is such a special show today, having Lisa Berry and Kerri Shephard, one from Canada and one from America. And I have co-authored with Lisa, and I'm so very happy to have her here because we shared a journey in Breakdown to Wake Up. That was fantastic. It's available on Amazon. You can catch and grab a copy and share your delightful reviews with us. We are having with us Communication Connects Rishti, who will be introducing both these beautiful souls. And what a lovely evening, my dear darling ladies. We are celebrating International Women's Day on Deep Talks. It could not be better. But today I'm so very delighted and honored. So let's have introduction of Kerri Shephard and Lisa Berry, who have connected from across the globe, and it makes me feel honored. So let's have Srishti doing it up for Deep Talks by Miss Gurleen Khokhar. And I hope by the end of the show, the viewers would watch and also share this as much as possible because it is meant to inspire, encourage not only the women today, but the gentlemen and the boys who are in the making and who would be transformed by our insightful thoughts on life. All over to you, Srishti.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening and welcome, everyone. Firstly, I would like to wish all the incredible women out there a very happy Women's Day. Shine on, not just today, but every day. Joining us today are two very incredible women, and it's my honor to introduce them to you tonight. Our first guest is Miss Kerri Shephard. Kerri is a teacher, speaker, mentor, and freedom coach whose passion is helping people identify where they are stuck and the work needed to cross over into their destiny so they can live the life they were created to live. Her heart is to help others connect with God in all areas of life, including business and family. Kerri is a licensed and ordained minister with 25 years of experience in ministry. Our second guest is Miss Lisa Berry. Lisa Berry is an expert in breathing life into the dreams of people wanting to create a lifestyle love story for themselves. International show host and five-time international best-selling author, Lisa Berry holds space for conscious conversations that are globally broadcasted, creating happiness and connection worldwide, while also coaching other show hosts how to deliver exceptional experiences to their creator, producer, and trainer of Podcast Prosperity, an 8-week mentorship program. Lisa helps author and content creators capture and express their message through launching their own podcast. As a well-being expert with over 20 years of experience, Lisa has built on her earlier career as a weight loss counselor to practice as a registered holistic nutritionist and certified life coach as she guides people through her Dating Your Diet program that encompasses the aspects of mind, body, and inner self to create a healthier life. Lisa holds space for clients to grow and glow by falling in love with the right food and helps them to embrace the opportunity to facilitate joy and happiness throughout their experience. Her approach to a healthy and expressive lifestyle is passionate and realistically modeled with enthusiasm and fun, making Ontario, Canada her home. Cat mom Lisa herself lives vibrantly, energetically, and happily and guides others to do the same. Her whole life is about finding possibilities, and enthusiasm is her fuel. I would now like to request Gurleen ma'am to take over, and I shall be back and monitoring the conversation as a communication connect.
Thank you so much, Srishti, for introducing my guests on the show because it inspires me to see a young girl doing it up for Deep Talks. And it inspires the very thought that we are not alone. We as a team together are moving forward and making people feel happy, delighted. And not only that, we need to share this thought, which I always believe in. Success is never earned single handed. There are a lot many people who guide you on the ways of your struggles in life. So I welcome you, Kerri, and I welcome you, Lisa, once again on behalf of beautiful day that it is to celebrate International Women's Day. So may I ask one by one, both of you, a question that is so meaningful and so deep for me. How do you define success? Kerri, let's start with you.
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on your show. And I'm honored to be here and honored to be celebrating Women's Day with 3 beautiful women. And yes, so success to me, what a great question. Success is finding out your purpose. Why am I here? What was I created for? And journeying to get the skills needed to be able to walk in the fullness of your journey and do what brings you joy and help others along the way to find their fulfillment. So to me, success really is a journey of discovery more than it is attainment. And I think as people discover who they were created to be and begin to walk in that with others, there is true fulfillment in life. So if you're doing what you were created to do and you have joy and peace and are surrounded by people you love, I believe that is success.
True. That's wonderful. And that's such a fantastic definition of what success is, Kerri. It's immeasurable in terms of your living those days when you are attaining that success, but not stagnating at a point to not outgrow that feeling where I think you need to just keep on moving, and in every moment there is success. I feel even when you are in a low phase, you feel that there could be a success if there is a hope of a thought that's positive. And I so very much relate to what you've said. So let's get back to Lisa, what she has to say all about success. What do you think is success, Lisa?
Oh, thank you. And I love being here. And if I may, Kerri, and Gurleen, Miss Gurleen, I love that you both commented on the word moving, because that's when I do think people would often talk about climbing the ladder of success, and there's a movement, but it doesn't mean to always get higher. It is just about momentum and keeping a direction. So for me, when I think of the word success, if I think, okay, when am I successful? I think when I am comfortable, when I'm not like in resistance, when I'm at peace. And I love that you mentioned that, Kerri. So it's comfortable and peace, and I'm able to invite others to share in that feeling with me and find out ways that they can as well. And your heart, when your heart is soft and yes, and moving. So you don't just get there. You don't just say, oh, here I am, I'm successful. You look around and you say, who else can be there?
That's so rightly stated, Lisa. It is incredible. And apart from this, because we are celebrating International Women's Day, so I would love to know from Kerri, what makes a woman complete? Because there are many women who will be watching us, and there are women who are stuck up in toxic relationships. So this is all about letting people know how can they feel complete within themselves. Any tips that you can share with the viewers from India, as well as the ones who'll be watching in Canada, America, and other countries and other states as well?
Sure. Well, you said quite a mouthful there. I think women really carry the beauty of the Lord. I feel like women have a inner strength. It's interesting. People can look at women and think they are the weaker or they are smaller, but women have a way that sort of redefines strength. There's an inner strength I've seen and felt and experienced in women that is of another world. And so I think as a woman, being able to connect to your creator, being able to connect to the Lord and tap into the beauty that he put in women. Women have such an ability to love and to overcome and to strengthen and enrich people around them. Women carry beauty, and they just bring beauty. They bring laughter. And so, for me, if a woman is in a hard place, first and foremost, I think being able to connect to your creator, being able to connect to the Lord and ask him, Lord, show me the vision of who you made me to be and show me who you are, that I can be thankful, I can worship you. And then I think find other women, and develop relationships there, share, talk about what's going on in your life, pray for one another, and have community there, because there is something so special in women, and especially as women are able to come together and connect and share their life. So.
Oh, that's fantastic, Kerri. This is something very meaningful. I'm so sure the viewers who are watching us will be taking some tips from you, because there are people who are not understanding what it takes to be working as a woman hand in hand. I have only seen women being envious of each other's positive growth in life, whereas I have believed that if a woman becomes the strength of another woman is the time that it will be total freedom, that is psychological freedom, and we would get that space to move even more further. That is what I feel, that you can work harder if you truly believe in the another woman's strength as well, because it is not that acknowledged by another woman is the time when there is serious strifes and queries related to struggles, and the questions keep coming in the mindset that why cannot a woman be a best friend to another woman? In India, it is more so prevalent, whereas in foreign countries, I see the percentage dropping, because I feel as a psychologist that these are the issues that we need to air. So that's how I have seen that in foreign countries, women are more productive. Whereas in India, women are productive, but they try to pull each other down by backstabbing or by talking something that's irrelevant and not at all progressive. So I'm so very honored to have your honest views here. I would love to ask Lisa as well, what completes a woman, and how would you define a complete woman according to you on this day? Because it makes sense to talk about these things that are quite relevant and are not very easy to talk about, because they involve a lot of courage, grit, and wisdom, which you and Kerri has.
No, thank you. What came to mind as Kerri was sharing that was, I was raised, but both my parents have always, from when I was a little girl, so I wasn't even dating, I was a little girl, and they always said, you are a whole person. You are not missing something. You are not to look for another half of you, your better half, your worst half. And so I was raised with that belief that I didn't need to be fixed. I wasn't broken. However, I'm a girl, I dated, and what happened and has happened is I would find myself in abusive relationships, but just in the way that someone spoke to me. And if they try to make me feel or believe that I was not whole, and I have fallen for it. I did believe it at times. And I would, after maybe sometimes years, I would stop and say, wait a second, why am I believing them? What changed my mind? I know better. I was raised and I felt whole. And so the tool that helped me to come back to whole every time was, did that make me feel good? Does it make me feel good to not feel whole? Does it make me, or to when another woman tries to maybe gossip around, if I don't gossip anymore on purpose, because I know how yucky it would make me feel. And I thought, oh, well, if my goal is to feel good and at peace and comfortable, then when I don't feel good about that, or if I hear other women or men talking negatively, or you're not enough, or you're not whole, or you can't do that, but somebody else can, I know that it doesn't make me feel good. So I know to back away from that and put my heart towards other conversations and better feel good things.
That makes sense. Yeah, you feel good. That makes sense.
Yes.
So, Kerri, you have had a lot of experience, 25 years of experience as an ordained minister. Would you like to share some tips as to how you went into this occupation, and was it your interest, or was it something that there was a turning point in your life that made you who you are today? And does your work involve a lot of passion? Because I have truly invested my time in stating many a times to people out there that make your passion your work, because then you will never retire in your life without losing hope. You will try to strive for even more and more, and that will only be good enough. So I would love to know what makes you follow your occupation, or rather passion.
Yes. Wonderful question. Yes. So I get to tell my story. I'll tell you, I love the concept of journey, because I think when we're young women, we think you have to figure it out. I have to figure out what's my destination and how do I get there as quick as I can, and so I can be successful. And whether that's, for some women, their goal is to get married. Other women, it's a career. Whatever it is, to be a mother, whatever your dream is, it really is a journey with lots of twists and turns, but they're purposeful and there's a lot of beauty along the way. But for me, even as a young person, I remember being in high school and thinking to myself, so I'm about 16 or 17, and I just had a heart that I wanted to see transformation. I wanted to see people one at a time transformed so that they weren't hurting, that they weren't at their worst, but instead their hearts were healed and whole and they were peaceful and joyful. I just was sort of consumed with seeing transformation in the world by seeing people transformed. And so I thought that would happen, Gurleen, by going into psychology. And so I did. I went through, 6 years of schooling and got a bachelor's and a master's degree in marriage, family, and child counseling, and was in group private practice for several years and enjoyed that time. But I began to realize that that really wasn't family friendly for me. I had a young infant son and I was working a lot of weird hours. And so all of a sudden my journey to bring transformation, I wasn't enjoying. And so I took a few years off and had another son and loved being at home with my boys. And then when I came back, I actually came back through the church, because where I was, I felt like there was more freedom for me to help people the way I wanted to by doing that as an ordained and licensed minister. And so for the last, 20 plus years, I have worked in lots of different facets, but it's always been about counseling and coaching, mentoring, discipling people. Because if you have something in your heart and you want to get there, you often need someone else to help you get over those places of limiting beliefs or judgments or fears. And so that is my greatest passion, is helping see people be transformed.
Oh, that's fantastic. And it's an incredible story out there, as your personal life experience. It's quite deep and meaningful enough for the audience who's watching us. And I would love to say hello to Dalbir Sandhu, who's joined us. A very warm welcome on Deep Talks. And I'm so sure that you are going to enjoy this conversation with Kerri and Lisa Berry. So I'm so honored that there are beautiful souls who are wanting to talk and share their personal experience like Kerri just did. And I'm so sure that Lisa is going to talk something about her personal life experience that is going to be a turning point of her life to actually make me and the viewers understand her journey of following her occupation as a life coach. Or rather, I would love to say, not as a life coach only, but as an international author and the best-selling author 5 times. So what makes you feel so entrusted in the profession that you are in, Lisa? Was it an inner call, or was it a divine calling, rather, or was it the interest that you had as a child, or was it your parental insight into what Lisa is? So may I have the opportunity to know from your own words what it is to be who you are today, Lisa?
Oh, thank you. And Kerri, you kind of I could wrap up the beauty that Kerri shared there, because she recognized she had options. Like, I don't just have to go back to what I was doing. And so it ties in with my story. So when I was a teenager as well, I had some health challenges, but it wasn't my own health challenges that inspired me to look into nutrition and health and healing. My mother, who's now passed, but she was sick all of my life and most of her life. And I wanted, very feminine, very nurturing and mothering, I wanted to fix her. I wanted to heal her. Not that she was broken, but that she was suffering. And when I was able to correct my health issues with food, I thought, oh, I can fix my mom. She just needs the right food. And so, as you know, it was a lifelong journey, and she passed in 2013. But when I was, I don't know, 18 or so, I started working in the weight loss industry, thinking it was a health industry. And I recognized that women will not go and seek help for if they're constipated or have diarrhea or their knees hurt or their hair is falling out or they're throwing up. But if they think they're fat, they will seek help because their husbands no longer find them attractive. They're no longer having intimate relationships. They feel another woman is more attractive. And I thought, this is such an abusive industry, this weight loss industry, that I knew that I had to use it as a secret back door. So when the women came in to get skinny, that now we're in behind closed doors. Now we can have a conversation about what you're going through. And as I asked them their symptoms, I was really asking them how they felt. And this deep talks, as this deeper relationship was building, I created a program. It took me 10 years, but that's okay. Yeah, I created a program called Dating Your Diet, Falling in Love with the Right Food for You.
Wow.
Because every woman, I'm going to eat so differently than everybody, and in different countries, because we have our culture, our religious beliefs, our access. And so and also if a woman is the one cooking all the food for the family and the husband or the children say, then it's so it was, how do we work this out? So I ran that program, and then when all these women were transforming, Kerri, your favorite, when we had the transformation, now I wanted to hear about it. So I went into podcasting and producing 5 years ago with shows so that we could express it and safely and in a supported space. And that's why it's called Conscious Conversations, because if we don't have the space like you've created here, Miss Gurleen, to share it, it just stays inside you, and your gift of healing and nurturing stays inside. But also, it's a joy to express our successes. It's like oxytocin, right? It's the hormone that so that's just where that's why when I was invited, I it's not, Women's Day for me isn't about yay women power. It's celebrating, and I know that both of you women love this. It's about love and nurturing and healing and more of it. Cooperation.
True, very true. It is an unconditional love that flows across the globe as well. That's what I always keep telling. It's not about a single day, a single moment, but it is about living each moment, and also, trying to feel positive even in your low phases, and trying to pick up the call and ask for help. So I would love to ask one more question to Kerri and Lisa, both of you. As a mental health expert, I do feel the need that there are people that are stuck up in toxic relationships. So how would you define a relationship as toxic? And how can someone come out of this toxic relationship? Some tips that can help people from across the countries and from countries where there are conservative thoughts and orthodox thoughts, and ladies are dying, and there are so much abusive relationships happening. They can come out of it by watching these shows and get some meaningful tips from both of you, because both of you have been having lots of experience in relations and in handling customers, clients. So you've been coming across people who are having such kind of relationships. I'm so sure that you will be on Deep Talks sharing something that people can take away with and build their lives for a betterment and for humanity's sake. This would be something that would be a better way to celebrate not only International Women's Day, but a day that's meaningful enough. So, Kerri, what is your suggestion on the ones who are in toxic relations, and how would you give them the insight as to come out of it? Because people don't even know what is a toxic relationship.
Right. Yeah. What a wonderful question. And, toxicity, or being in a toxic relationship, let's sort of demystify that. There are toxic relationships everywhere. And and there's also a lot of times even we have toxicity in us, and we don't realize that. And so why I couldn't, address the whole topic in this moment, let me just sort of pick somewhere to land. I think fear is at the root of most toxicity, because when people are afraid, they reach for control, and control breeds toxicity. And so for me, if I'm engaging in conversation with someone and I start to feel sort of uncomfortable, like Lisa mentioned, I start to feel a little bit afraid, and maybe not afraid like I want to run away, but afraid like all of a sudden I don't have peace, and I feel manipulated or bullied or intimidated. Those are signs that this is toxic. This is not something that we need to stay engaged in. And so if that's a relationship that's not ongoing, I just simply excuse myself. Thank you so much. I have to get going. I have another call to make, or I have to run down over here. And I just excuse myself when I start feeling like I don't have peace. I don't like the way I feel right here. However, oftentimes we will find ourselves in situations where we have people in our daily lives that, and I think a lot of times these people aren't trying to be toxic. They are just ruled by fear. And so they're trying to control you and control what's around them to make themselves feel better. So in those situations, this is what I recommend. Number one, if I'm caught off guard and I'm in a toxic conversation, I try to get away by giving myself a break. I might even excuse myself to go to the bathroom and just sit in there for a minute, and I will pray and I will say, Lord, this feels like fear. And I know you are not the God of fear. You are a God of peace. So show me what to do right here. If someone's calling me and I can see this person is calling me and I know they're a toxic person, I won't answer the phone. I will pray and I'll call that person back when I feel peaceful. So those are just some ways. I don't think it's possible to remove ourselves from every toxic relationship, but we can determine that we will not be toxic. We will not live under fear, that we will live by peace, and we will move even by the Lord's leading, by Holy Spirit's presence. And we will begin to put up boundaries. We won't voluntarily talk to or go be with people who are toxic. The third thing would be to, if these are people in your daily life, maybe this is your sister or your someone you're very close to, even a parent, you can begin to talk about fear and why fear doesn't produce good things in our lives, and how can we walk free of fear? How can we celebrate life, celebrate joy, and stay away from control and fear? So those are things I do to reduce toxicity as best I can, and I hope that's helpful.
True. That's wonderful. There are so many viewers who have joined us. I would love to let them know that we are having two beautiful souls. Gurleen Khokhar has said hello to us. Vikas Singh has said it's a great show once again. Dalveer Sandhu has said, I love the smile on three of your faces. And Just Sidhu has said, well said. Vikas Singh has said, great topic. Toxic relations are most prevalent in today's mad gold rush world. Great tips, ma'am, and love from India. Spread love and make this world a better place to live. Oh, wonderful. These guests make this deep talks even more interesting and more special, because I believe where there is unity, there's always love. And I believe that unconditional love flows from one soul to another soul. So it's a destiny connect. And when it is with Lisa and Kerri, how better it could be today on Deep Talks to celebrate something that's just involving a lot of psychological freedom. Yes, my dear viewers, I always talk about that freedom that's not only physical but psychological. So over to Lisa as to how she can give the viewers some tips about toxic relationships, what they are, and how can they overcome this toxicity in the relationships, as rightly stated by Kerri Shephard, because I would, relate this freedom coach concept to Kerri once again after Lisa answers this question, because there's something more meaningful with this tagline of hers as a freedom coach. So I would come back to you, Kerri, and for that we have Lisa answering this question.
I'm excited to go back to Kerri too, because I love everything you're sharing. And Miss Gurleen, you are such a fabulous host. I have to say that so because you've covered the fear, which is huge, and that you're right. As soon as that fear bubbles up, so when I think of a toxic relationship, I do think of that fear, and I also think of that. It's the more of that, almost like that empathy inside of me, the light inside of me recognizes that other person's light is very dim. And I almost, if it's not fear, I sense that they are so deeply unhappy and sad that they've given up on their own happiness. And so now if they are trying to put that out, well, they are putting it out there, but then I have that choice to really trust my inner light, and whether you are praying to God or to whomever, but it's you, and it's an extension of you. And I have this belief, I have a little game that I play in my head even now when people are send a toxic statement not even to me, but just out there. They might say something, and if I wasn't steady in my light, if I wasn't steady in my wholeness and my health, then I would be one to say, why would you say that? Don't say that. I almost retaliate, almost like push it back at them. But I've also, now I can't absorb it all, but what I can offer is to say, that's where they are. I wonder if I could offer some love. Maybe not like they're not waiting for the love blanket, trust me. but if I can have that understanding that says, in my mind, I might say, wow, they're really unhappy with how their life is going, their choices and their results. And if I could have a little bit of empathy, as opposed to putting fuel on the fire, saying, you know what, you're so negative. You're always saying those mean things, or why do you have to do that? Because now I am doing exactly what they already believe is wrong with the world. And I'm supporting it. So I try to just be that change. It literally is to show up. And so the most important thing for me to even be helpful in any toxic conversation, and I love that you made that singular, right? Could be just a toxic conversation versus a thing, is always work on yourself, know your light, know your not toxic, your goodness, have a good state of mind and heart. And if you aren't feeling your best when you put your feet on the floor in the morning, get back into bed and you try again and just try to go forward. And
that's fantastic. So that's relevant enough, and that's quite practical, Lisa. What you just stated is quite practical and quite believable. So I'm so sure the viewers who are going to watch this episode a little later would be rejoicing in the laughter, the smiles, and the honest confessions that you both are bringing to this show, because it immensely takes a lot of courage, a lot of confidence, and a lot of years of experience that you are here to speak something that's so special and so deep and yet meaningful. So we are not talking out of anything else but our years of experiences. And that makes this show even more famous and more talked about. So it is talking about those things which people are hesitant to talk about, and they don't have that confidence to come openly and talk these things. So as a mental health expert, I started this initiative based on the concept that nothing else can stop a woman, a child, or an adult, or anyone from talking if they only talk. The communication is dying down these days very badly, whether be it verbal or non-verbal. When there is a relationship dying, people forget whether it's personal with your father, with your mother, with your child. It's the deadline, it's the stop of communication. And that's what is really very important. That's the confession that I have to make, my dear viewers. If you do not communicate in ways more than one, you would be dying, you would be suffocating yourself, and you would be falling in deep depression. So this is high time that you can always befriend someone, and it's not necessary. Try to move out of your comfort zone. Sometimes living in the comfort zone within the family, within the same friend circle, might not lead you to a positive result in life. Sometimes moving beyond that is actual call of the Lord to let you know where you are having your weaknesses and you need to grow. You need to grow and evolve from your weaknesses. And that's what Kerri and Liza is doing. Within their different occupations, they're trying to inspire many souls sitting across the globe. They are affecting even the Indians. And I'm so very honored to have both of them on my show. So I would love to ask Kerri that as a freedom coach, you have been inspiring many souls by now. I'm so sure there would be a fan following of yours as well. But over the years of experience as a freedom coach, what was that thought that struck you to be a freedom coach? Because a freedom is something that is difficult to define. In modern times, how would you define freedom? Is it psychological, that's the physical freedom you're talking of, or is it something different that's teaching people how to cope up with the issues in their life or to deal with disaster management? I would love to know how, as a freedom coach, would you define yourself and what is it to be a freedom coach?
Yeah, wonderful. Well, to me, freedom means a lot of different things to different people. And of course, there are people in the world that do not have physical freedom, that are actually slaves, and which is horrible. And then there are people who feel like they don't have freedom to be who they are. There are people who feel stuck, so they feel bound and that they can't move forward. And so freedom means a lot of different things, but what I am interested in, and the reason why I call myself a freedom coach, is because my passion is helping people that feel stuck cross over into what they are to be doing, and in what they are to be believing, and what they are to be pursuing. And so, and teaching people the tools that I have options when I feel stuck. A lot of times we find ourselves in cycles. We're like, why do I keep getting stuck here? I can't move forward financially. I can't move forward in my relationships. That's the biggest one I see. I can't move forward in what I feel I'm called to do in my career or in my passion. I feel stuck. And so I sit down with people, and really it is a matter of prayer and wisdom and exploration to determine what is the stuck place. Because there is a root that we can tie back into of where someone got stuck and what they believed that really allowed them to be stuck. And all of us believe lies about ourselves that aren't true. We believe lies about God or our creator, and we believe lies about other people and how the world works. And when we can exchange those lies for the truth, man, you are in freedom. You are off to the races. And so that process of helping people, it's actually kind of, I believe, the kindness of God to identify that you are stuck, because until you know you're stuck, you're not going to get unstuck. And so really sitting with people, hearing their story, this is where I'm stuck, tracking that back to where we believed things that weren't true that shifted us, and then exchanging that for the truth, hearing the truth, embracing that, and charging forward into your present, into your future. And I sit with people and do that. I can do that via Zoom. I do that in my home office. I have free consultations available, but freedom is available. I just want to encourage your viewers, Gurleen, to know that freedom is accessible. It is available for the taking. So
true. That's fantastic and well said, Kerri, because freedom is something that we are celebrating, and we would love to celebrate more of the freedom. In the freedom is a lot of creativity and a lot of potential that's hidden in every human being, and that's what is, just going overlooked. And I believe in every home there are souls who are lurking in the corners, but they're not coming out of their true potential, and they can't seek an insight into their own strengths and weaknesses. For that, they have to accept their weaknesses to overcome them and ask for help and assistance like you provide. And I'm so very honored that you are sharing your relevant information with Indian viewers, and not only Indian viewers, the ones who are watching us from different parts of the globe. I'm so very happy that you've answered this very nicely. And Lisa, I would love to have some tips from you because you have become 5 times best-selling author. So I would love to know how to become a good writer. And there are people who are into writing, and I totally believe and I suggest people in depression to pick up journaling as a habit. So, how would you give the tips to the viewers to become a good writer? Can you suggest some tips because you are there making the waves in the writing kingdom? So, I would love to know, Liza, because we have co-authored. I've read your story, and you are yet to read mine, and I hope that you like my story as well. So, I would love to know that. Apart from whatever you do as a life coach, what inspired you to write the story in the Breakdown to Wake Up Plus? What could be the tips to become a fantastic and superb writer for the readers?
Okay, that's a powerful question because not everybody even knows that they could be a writer. And I would love to share this, Ms. Gurleen, is that I've actually written since, let's say, 10 or 11 years. But when I started doing radio, do you know that I stopped writing? And then when I tried writing again for this chapter, I couldn't write. And I thought, oh, I've lost it. I don't know how to write anymore. I only know how to talk. And so I really had a lot of beliefs. And I love that you said, I just love that about exchanging, because I had some work to do before I could even go back into writing a story. Because what was coming to mind was, Lisa, you used to be such it was effortless to write. Oh, Lisa, you used to do this so well. Now, what you can't even come up with the proper words or create a sentence. And I didn't even want to do it. I actually almost didn't. I almost bailed. I almost was like, nope, I'm not writing. And what inspired me to write, and this is what will be the game changer for everyone who thinks they want to write. I suddenly had an experience that I knew I had to share. Then I was able to write again because you're telling a story. So say you're struggling, and I love that you said practicing your journaling, because I was out of practice. I wasn't in the habit of writing, and I judged myself that I no longer knew how. But I realized that we become better at things by doing them more and more. We become better at loving others, accepting others, and writing just the same. So the few tips are to do it regularly, but don't just sit down, okay, I'm going to do it for an hour today. Sit down and say, I'm going to write a sentence today.
Yeah.
And then a paragraph, or I'm going to tell a story about something that means a lot, that inspires, it evokes emotion. You are inspired by emotion, and it evokes emotion in another. Other tip too, you're not writing for somebody else at first. You are always writing for yourself, because you will think, oh, nobody else wants to read this. Nobody else will like it. You know that my style of writing is so different than somebody else's. I literally write how I speak. I don't polish it up. There's ums and dots and oohs and e's, And what I first had to do was I actually would record, like I would audibly say a little bit of my story to get myself rolling. And then I would sit at the keyboard. So it's how you feel comfortable expressing. You can get your story out. You can get your fiction even. You can write anything. You could write lessons. You could write a manual with instructions. But if you want to say it, speak it first and record it. If you want to write it, then write it first. Just be comfortable, be moved and inspired by your own emotion and story, and know that it will have a home. You may not know where that home is. It may be in a book, it may be in a show, but it'll come. It'll come.
That's nice. You don't know where the home is, but the home is where the heart is. And you're writing it from your heart and mind. That speaks volumes. And that was what I also did, Liza. Because when it comes to writing down, you're talking every single day, being a great host and all that stuff. But when it comes to writing, it is a time that you just have to pick the pen. Once you do it, it starts coming in, and that's the way it has to be. You don't have to think about what to cancel. It could be canceled later on, but it is just about filling those pages, whatever's coming to your mind. So that's so true. To be a good writer, you have to first accept that you have to do it. Initiation is the first process to anything. So that's wonderful. So let's have some fun, ladies. I'll be asking some questions that will be just fantastic. So one word questions before we end the conversation. And I would love to ask first one word from Kerri and then to Lisa, then to Kerri and Lisa. So we'll flow like that. So whatever that one word comes to your mind, you just have to say that. Okay, so sky, Kerri.
Did you say size?
Sky.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Can you spell the word? I'm not sure.
S-K-Y, sky.
Oh, sky.
Oh.
Heaven.
Heaven. Okay. Hell, Lisa.
Whoa, hot. No, I don't know.
Kerri is crazy.
Crazy. Joy.
Oh, wonderful. So crowd, Lisa, crowd.
Together.
Okay, Kerri, book.
Oh, good time.
Okay, Lisa, time.
Grandfather clock.
Okay, Kerri, coach.
Freedom.
Wow. Okay, sparkle, Lisa.
Oh my goodness. Oh, joy, completely.
Wonderful. So that was a little fun, but on the spot, I would love to ask you a few more questions that are fun and fantastic. So, Kerri, on lighter mode, what has been that beautiful evening of a date when you were asked by someone? Would you love to share some dating moment of your life where you would love to share on this Love Deep Talks, where you felt enlightened and you would love to let viewers know how it could be a beautiful dating if this involves this and that becomes a healthy relationship? So that is one thing I would love to know, because this show is all about love. So why not have something that's coming straight from your heart?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I've been married for 28 years. I've actually known my husband since I was 15 years old, but we didn't start dating until I was 23. And so I'm very, very blessed. I recognize that. My husband is my best friend. Not that we haven't had moments of, fighting and toxicity, but we have fought the good fight 28 years this summer. So I had a lot of opportunities to choose from, but here's a fun one. It wasn't Valentine's Day or our anniversary. It was just a night when I think we had been watching TV and just kind of at home together. And my husband went outside for a little while and then came back in and he said, I want you to come out and look at something with me. Come look outside. And I thought, I don't want to go look outside. I'm just sitting on the couch, but he just kept encouraging, no, please come outside. And I did. And he had set up around our swimming pool. He had set up some candles and some music and the stars were out and he thought it was beautiful. And he just wanted to dance with me around the swimming pool. And so it's those moments that are much better than any, $100 dinner out at a restaurant. It's just him being spontaneous and creative. I felt so loved.
Loved, yeah. So my dear viewers, you're right here. When Kerri is answering something that's really very fantastic, you don't have to spend $1 million. What you have to understand is how to make someone feel special. And that could be even a simple, small thing that's effective. Someone asked a question that was Vikas. What does a woman really want? A woman wants to become self-sufficient and independent in making their own decisions. That is a part of what she wants. What she wants in life is just to be respected and to be accepted the way she is, with her pros and cons. The way the gentlemen are, they would also want their respect and their freedom, which is psychological as well, which is missing these days. But in modernistic times, it is picking up pace, and women like Kerri and Lisa, who are doing really well in their lives, are inspiring many other souls who are following their footsteps, and people who would also follow my footsteps even. So I'm boasting about myself a little here and taking the piece of cake. But I'm sure that there are people who are bold enough to talk about these things, and there are majority of them who shy away from talking about these things because they feel if they share their life story, it is a shameful act. No, my dear viewers, it is not a shameful act. It is a privilege, because there are some souls who are dying, who are committing suicides, and there are certain serious crimes happening, and we need to do it for the betterment of humanity at a larger level. So that's what we are all here about, and for people by people. This is something that I am bringing on, and a concept that I'm so sure that you all will connect to, as Liza and Kerri have connected to. So, Liza, what is your moving point in relationships? And I would love to know your experience in love. Was that one moment where you felt, oh my God, I've got the love of my life? That kind of a moment, that aha moment in your life? I would love to know from you.
All right, and I love Kerri's story. So you got me out in my romantic space. And Miss Gurleen, as you said about women, what women want is to be accepted, and my moment is all about acceptance, because as you read in my bio, I'm an extreme cat mom, and I had been dating fellows who my cats and them did not get along, and they are my family, my babies. I'm their mom. And if they didn't get along, I literally would not continue seeing someone, because the cats are with me till they die. So it's going to be a long time. And I was not willing. They're more than first. They are like, they don't even get a ranking. They're just above. And I was dating my boyfriend, and it was time for him to meet the cats. And and I was nervous, and I didn't know he was nervous, because he was playing it off like, oh, everything's going to be fine. But he later told me he was very nervous. But he had come over and spent some time, and the cats liked them. And, but it wasn't, anything crazy. But when he packed up his little carry-on suitcase to leave, as he was rolling it down the driveway, both cats ran after him to say goodbye. And he stopped and kneeled on the ground and scrubbed them and said goodbye. Oh, my heart just melted. And I was like, acceptance. Like, it was a family we could work towards a family now. So that's a family. That's how it made me feel. That was so romantic.
That is indeed acceptance, and that's so nice that people should respect animals as well, because there's a lot of animal cruelty happening. So I would request the viewers, if they find some animal who's been damaged by an accident, or people are not looking into their needs, they can feed the dogs or the stray dogs, or look after them, because there are a lot of people who don't know how to utilize their money. They have so much of money, they don't know where to give and how to invest their money very wisely. So I would love them to go to some orphanage homes, or to look after some pets, so that they feel satisfied. Because it's very rightly stated, when you have a pet at your home, you don't undergo the phase of loneliness. And that's one thing that people adopt pets, because they do feel that sometimes they can relate well with the animals more, and they are more loyal. So that is one point where I feel, if you are feeling lonely, my dear viewers, always look into the fact that either you have a friend by your side, or you have a pet, because that would relieve you of the pain that you are going through. And that's not a joke. That's something that's coming out straight from my heart. I've seen people feeling lonely, and parents being kept in homes. They are not knowing what to do in their lives. So everybody needs to pick up a passionate hobby, so that they keep their interests streaming live, like I am streaming live on Deep Talks, because this is my passion, to host people, to interview them for their life experiences. And not only that, to break open the barriers as to how we cannot befriend the souls coming across from the globe, and how we cannot just break the stereotypes that we have formed over the years. It is important to realize the importance of these stereotypes, as well as to break them, which time we need to move, because this is what is calling in for a positive change and a revolutionary impact on the souls who will be watching this, and the ones who will be viewing it little later. So I would love to end this conversation by asking last two questions, one to each of you. So Kerri, how can we boost the confidence in the people who are low in self-esteem. As a freedom coach, I would love to know from you as a life mentor, how can people boost their confidence? As to, I would say, there are people who cannot conquer their fears, as Liza has correctly pointed in the earlier bit of the conversation. People have a lot of fear in their mindset for approaching people like you. So, how would you let them know the tips to boost their confidence? What can they do?
Yeah, great question. What comes to mind in this moment, because I recognize there's lots of there's an international audience here. So I was trying to think what would speak to anyone. I believe low self-esteem or a lack of self-confidence largely comes from fear of not being worthy, fear of not being accepted, fear of not being enough. And so I believe the Bible teaches that love is what displaces or casts out fear. So love and fear are like light and dark. They don't coexist. And so pressing into love more and more can displace or decrease the fear in your life. And love and everything that it does really does make someone feel safe. It makes someone feel value. And here is something that came to mind that anyone can do. Because if you say, well, Kerri, I don't have anyone I could go to have love with. So, but I would encourage you, go outside to a place that to you is beautiful, a safe place outside that speaks of beauty. For me, that would be near water. Other people, it would be, green grass or trees. And because when you're outside, what that says to me is this is creation. And creation was created by a creator who created me, and I have value. And the more I look at what I think is beautiful in creation, and I realize the creator of the universe made this beauty, and he made me because I have value. And just like he looked at creation and said, this is good, this is beautiful, he looks at me and says that as well. And so I think communing outside, if you don't have a relationship that you can, really celebrate love with, there's always creation. But love is what reduces fear and ultimately will build that knowing that you have value just because you were created.
True. That is wonderful. And Vikas has already said great words. Thanks a lot, Vikas Singh, for watching this episode. With it, there are many people who have joined us, Just Sidhu, Dalveer Sandhu, and the ones Gargi Haldar, Rupneet Kaur, and there will be many more who will be watching this show. And I'm so thankful to all of you for watching us, because this is something so special, because this doesn't happen every single day. It is something so relevant enough that we are sharing our life experiences. It brings enormous joy to even have those questions coming in, because I don't frame questions, my dear viewers. When there are people asking me that they would love to come to my show and be hosted by me, I feel, oh, there has to be a rendezvous with Miss Gurleen. Just the questions should come in and the answers should just flow in. That's the connect we are having on this show, which makes this show a little different from rest of the shows, where people are having all the conditioned questions in the mindset and you are already prepared with your answers. This is more about who you are as a person than about your achievements and about your taglines and your statuses in life. This is more about your originality, uniqueness, and that's what makes you special, my dear viewers. And what a best way it is when we are talking about humanity at a larger level. So, Liza, that's wonderfully stated by Kerri. I would love to know, how can people boost their confidence and how can people feel more positive about life? That would be something that will be valuable to the viewers. And because this episode is on an International Women's Day, I would love all the women and the girls and the youngsters to actually take some healthy tips from both of you.
All right. Well, enthusiasm is one of my favorite words. I feel like that's something I turn to. It's my tool. There's a lot of people. I'm surrounded by many negative people, and mostly because it's the negative people or who are not feeling hopeful. who are feeling sad or depressed, and they are coming to me as a client, or they're in my family, or they're my friends. And it's important to me to, like you said, how do I offer them? How do I hold the mirror up to show them where is their confidence, and how can they hold anything positive when they feel there's no hope? The world stinks. It's not, there's no place for me. And so always demonstrating, how I come from. But I get into those places at times too, like, oh my gosh, now what? Both you wonderful women have said this. It is about having a conversation. Let's open the conversation. Let's communicate. And we do need to find help. We cannot do this alone. But the wonderful thing is to have a statement going through your head that says, I can exchange this. It's okay to change my beliefs, because what I believe about myself may not be true. What I believe about this negative situation, this no hopeful situation, hopeless, no hopeful, this hopeless situation, and to be able to laugh at yourself is wonderful. But this, maybe this situation isn't hopeless. Maybe there's something. And Kerri, that is perfect, to use nature as our model. How many times have we seen a house plant that you have given up on or think it's not going to make it, and then it comes back to life because you changed the water, you gave it some nutrients. And so if we can see ourselves and just say, okay, I'm really feeling low and down about myself. I hate the way I look and how I speak and how I sound. And I failed at this test I took and I didn't get the job and I just got dumped. It doesn't matter where you are, but if you can say, all right, reset. Let's hit the reset button, but not with the same start that I had yesterday. What needs to change? What beliefs do I have? And your confidence is going to come from you always searching and just having hope and believing that there is something a little better, that tiny tweak that will fix everything. Like that will just, you just need to turn a little bit. Like, when somebody comes and goes, no, this way.
Yeah,
no.
this way.
And then you're on the path. But if you can always just say, okay, yes, I know there's a way. Once you have belief in possibility, the enthusiasm happens when you believe that you can do it. So, okay, there's a way, but it's not for me. That's not that. You're not there. There's a way, and I fit in here somehow. Yeah. So it's really going back to self-discovery. It's all about you and re-examining whether what you believe and what you've been using as your way moving forward has been holding you back or has been supporting you to move forward.
True. So the last question, my dear beautiful souls, I would love to ask you, what is the definition of the modernistic woman from your side? How would you define a modern woman, and how would you spread a message to the women across the globe as to how they should make their lives a little more better? Because it is something that's very special. And I would love to know, the women in yesteryears, they have completely transformed into the women whom they are today. So I would love to know from your viewpoint, how would you define a modernistic woman? According to you, who is a modernistic woman, and one of your biggest achievements of life so far?
Well, a modern woman, I think the definition there is pretty wide. I think perhaps that today in modern times, there potentially is more freedom to define who you are as a woman than ever before. I'm not sure everyone has that capacity. That's my prayer and hope. But today, I think to be able to say, this is who I am as a woman, I hope that in these times we have more freedom to do that than we've ever had before. And I think that women today, even just having shows like yours, Gurleen, where women can come together and talk and celebrate what it means to be female. And I love the whole male men, the greatness in men, the protective thing, the fierce thing, the battle for things, the protective instincts, the greatness in man. But then I love the flip side of that, the greatness in women, and completely different strengths and weaknesses and vulnerabilities. And so I think in these modern times, celebrating the greatness in women and the greatness in man, and no need to compete, because really, if you look at the greatness in man, then you put the greatness of woman next to it. It's like the contrast is beautiful, and celebrating both of those. So I think getting rid of competition, getting rid of the need to define myself against someone else or, the other gender, and just celebrating that these are, in my view, these two beautiful, the male and the female, and how they can flow together and how they flow separately and independently. The beauty in that is really what I hope our modern time has achieved, is that that women do not have to be defined next to a man. They can be defined in the beauty of who they are, and that doesn't take away from the greatness that we know God put in man as well. So I hope that answered your question, Gurleen. I think it's good to celebrate the greatness of both.
Very well said and very meaningful. So coming to Lisa, what is a modernistic woman consisting of, according to you? How would you define a modernistic woman?
I 100% agree and love what Kerri said. That's one of my biggest things when I do get the opportunity to be in front of an audience or on stage, or even with my own closest, best girlfriends and men friends, is that I absolutely celebrate the strengths and the beauty of both. And this is not about getting back at the masculine or getting ahead of the masculine. It's going together. It's moving forward together. And I feel like that's the theme of us three ladies right now, is that moving forward. And that is what we want to move forward. And the modern means, moving forward we will get further and further. And so to celebrate, when I was, I've never felt that, hard line. I'm so girly. I'm really super girly, and I love men, but I also recognize that men can feel lost when we overpower our, we want it all. And so I would love to use the word compassion from both masculine and feminine, to recognize. And I visualize what you said, Kerri, about the feminine and masculine coming together to create this most magnificent, beautiful image and wholeness. Not that we are apart, but two wholes coming together. But compassion is, I think, to me, a modern woman holds compassion still. She doesn't have a heart of stone. It's a beautiful, growing, beating heart. Open arms, ready to receive and ready to ask for help when there's a good counterpart. And I love that. It's more a compassionate modern woman.
That is fantastic and well wrapped up by Kerri and Lisa. So the last message for the viewers and for the host of the show that you would want to convey, and then I would wrap up the show, but that will continue because our Connect is for eternal times to grow and evolve. So Kerri, first you and then Lisa, a last message to the viewers and for the host of the show.
Yeah, I think I just want to say to you that that you have value. The fact that you're here, the fact that you were created, you have value, and there is a plan and a purpose for your life. And like I mentioned before, I encourage you to go outside in nature and let the stars, let whatever resonates with you outside speak to you. And I encourage you to have hope, to gain hope from that, and I pray and ask the Lord, show me the plan and the purpose, the vision that I need to see in my life to fulfill what I was created to do. And I just encourage you to sow love, to give love to those who are around you, to not tolerate fear as best you can, but instead to be a person of compassion and joy, and enjoy your life. Yeah, I bless you to enjoy your life.
Thanks a lot, Kerri. And now, Lisa.
Well, I would love to thank you, Gurleen. You are so inspiring. You have, to me, you exude more than that confidence. You actually, I can feel that you go, I want to grow, I want to move this, but you're inspired to help so many others and globally on this big picture. And you feel international to me. You feel global to me, and I love that because the more you do that, I'm here with Kerri from Texas, and yeah, and it's just I love that connection feeling, and so my words are always to just feel better. So wherever you are, know that you can feel just a little bit better. There's always a way, and it starts from the heart. It's not external, it's internal, or your relationship with your essence and your being. And it is a strong connection for me right now. I feel that's the word I would love to sign off with, is that we are connected. Don't lose that connection. If you feel like you're losing it, find a way to just reconnect, whether it's from nature, but just to feel connected always. That's the most beautiful, beautiful, healthy feeling.
True. That was fantastic. On Deep Talks, we had Kerri and we had Lisa Berry from California and from Canada. This is something that is special because it is on International Women's Day special episode of Deep Talks by Miss Gurleen Khokhar. And I love the audience and the comments coming in. I would love you all to get connected to both of these beautiful souls, and however they could help you, they are always there connected to me. And you can always shoot out your emails and your queries at gurleenkhokhar@gmail.com and reach out for counseling services to open the window for a brighter tomorrow. Not only that, my definition for a woman stands with a man because a man is there in a woman. WOMAN, woman. You spell it like that, so a man and a woman go alongside. That's equality. And not only that, my own definition of a woman is wonders of manifesting eternal nest. So wherever a woman goes, she builds a home. A home, whether she stays single or she gets married or she's a separated woman. Everyone needs to respect a woman because she is special. She is special in the ways she's evolving, she's caring, she's loving. She has all the perseverance, all the patience, all the strength, the confidence, the grit, wisdom, and the courage to not only state it, but never give up. My dear viewers who are watching us, this is one motto that I follow in life. And with it, I sign off for the evening. The comments are coming in. Avinash Arvind has said, compassion mutually for survival of relationships is indeed needed. One-sided relationship doesn't work. So true. So we are wrapping up, and I hope you watched the full episode. And this was something on Deep Talks Virtual Reality of Love and Relationships by Miss Gurleen Khokhar. So good night and bye-bye, and have a great day, Kerri and Lisa. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.